lots of love to MSL. Can't wait to see him back into Counter-Strike. I'm sure Tier 1's going to have him pretty soon. But Michael, time for Overpass. And what do you think about Endpoint? Who's going to really be stepping up? Who's going to maybe be stepping down?
I mean, I think that the consistent performer you look to is crucial, but I do think that Thomas needs to kind of lead the ship in a lot of respects. Ever since his departure from Endpoint initially and then coming back, he hasn't been quite the same. You know, it feels like a shell of his former self, but playing more supportive roles and playing more roles than and roles he hadn't played previously with the lineup. So I guess we lead that conversation away because, of course, Mirbit is that stand-in as well. So if Mirbit comes in with a good performance, if Thomas is there, then I know that this is going to be quite a tough showing, even for the Astralis guys, but they're a tough contender. They're a clear favorite to come into this game. We'll have to see how it all shakes out. T-side, of course, the start here for Astralis. They've got two sets of utility. The double smoke, the Molotov, couple of flashes being ready and reared. And Endpoint have already thrown their one flash, investigating into the potential for a B-side lurk, but now they're starting to realize that the smokes are over and the flashes are in for Astralis.
Oh, Thomas taking point, but Xyp9x takes his head, and as he keeps on going forward, Mighty Max has been tagged down. Xyp9x, let's go! He's already found 2, and Bubsky on the back lines will make it 3. It seems like, Michael, Xyp9x is just coming into play, and you know, something that we sometimes forget as Xyp9x keeps the aggression going, finds himself the third, and honestly has no intention of stopping right now, just wants to finish off Mirbit as well. Pushed into a corner, Dupree's taking him down. Michael, Xyp9x dominated Cologne as well. You know, he was actually that second star who a lot of people didn't expect to be showing up and helped them get to that quarterfinals run.
Yeah, always remember Xyp9x for the clutches, right? But
yeah,
and he can really provide the firepower, and sometimes it often goes misplaced. You know, we talk about a lot of those stars. You're right. He is kind of that hidden element where sometimes he just has these pop-off games. Getting off to a solid start, playing that entry role, just continuously pressuring the rotations from Endpoint. Wasn't scared for a moment for any of those fights.
Okay, dying if you're there to trade me. Admittedly, not always in that particular role, considering that he is generally the one you're relying on for clutching, but even so, he knows how it's done. The Charlottes have already forced back Endpoint. Initially, no points of aggression being taken. Endpoint's really heavily relying on a stack to work out, and with only Crucial over here at the A-bomb site. I'm surprised he's gone for Kevlar. Normally would have maybe liked to see him a bit more conservative, especially considering that normally you see Crucial and Surreal, if they are force buying, go for scouts instead on maps where it's possible. Dust2 comes to mind in particular.
Yeah. Well, with one player already being tagged here on the Astralis side, that is a bit of a concern. Going towards Heaven, they're doubled up over in Monster, and Bubsky does realize that Max is challenging on short. Smoke will fade soon enough in towards Monster, and they're ready and rearing to go. Smokes and flashes over. Mirbit up close. 2 tags with a dig is enough, and spinning around. Xyp9x dropped. Oh no! It's the big collapse over at the Monster tunnel, and it's only Dupree left. A 1-on-3. As he pulled it away from that 4 number, and these SMGs, sure, distance was trying to be attained. Thomas trying to crunch him in, but there's no time. He cannot recover from this position. They've been shut down and met on this B-side play. It's the second round that goes Endpoint's way.
The only saving grace over here is the fact that Dupree finds those extra kills, so he's actually going to be fine monetarily in terms of being pretty level with the rest of his team. But yeah, the fact that Mirbit finds himself 2 kills and a damage onto the third for Mighty Max to finish off is just criminal. There's no way they should be allowed to get away with that. Pushing in through the smoke into a force buy round is definitely something where it feels more like a call to catch someone off rather than a call that might be the best thing to go for at the time.
This is now back-to-back games where pistol round won, second round lost.
On the bright side, CT side is winning the second round, Michael. So I'm not complaining, okay?
Yeah, they need the help.
I'm telling you, all of the collective IGLs just sat down at some church, mosque, synagogue, whatever, all tower of worship before this tournament saying, please, We know the pistol round doesn't actually give us anything. Give us the force buys instead. Astralis are looking to respond with a force buy of their own, though.
Yeah, it could certainly do some damage. So much open territory, crucial. SMG over at these bathrooms, but not going to really have a whole lot of support. You can see Surreal's jump spotting. Could come down to a timing.
Oh, and as he gets peeked into, Magis can't quite get the initial shot. Surreal takes him down, and Crucial's been heavily tagged for the trade. Comes in Debris. Mac-10's going to give him that extra pocket money as well, because why not? And now he's got the side to contend with. Surreal and Thomas lying in wait. Astralis don't have too much time, so if they want to rotate, Zipnix needs to get a kill now. He's just hoping to catch them off as Merbit is going to be rotating, but as Surreal pushes in through to the toilets, Astralis have to be careful. They could end up being stabbed in the back. Thomas waiting for the peak to come through. He's the one who wants to farm up the money, but with every play...
Oh! Oh, this is so dangerous. They doubled up on that flank, and now Dupree had an opportunity to backstab, but so much time has been bled off of this bomb. Surreal trying to lead in with that SMG with Mearbit at the front, and tag damage was done onto Zip, but he gets the shot he needs to. UMP will hunt him down, and there is a kit to be recovered here for Mearbit. It is a really tough fight on that A site, and things get super, super dicey there for Endpoint. Even with the prospect of a flank, with that missed opportunity for Surreal, the fact that they doubled up on that flank as well, as soon as they recognized that that backstab was a potential there for Endpoint, you could see Astralis started to make the adjustments. And the post plan, I mean, you throw a couple weapons into that mix. If Astralis had those, if they had recovered some of those weapons, could have been a much different story.
Yeah, it's close, that's for sure, Michael.
And I mean, we talk about CT side economy a lot, where you know, you come down to this one player, that's not exactly a comfortable spot to be.
Fortunately, they did get the force by win.
Exactly.
So not too bothered by it. They still got themselves the AWP. They've still got themselves a bit of extra money to go around. Thomas and Mighty Max will be suffering for it. Don't get me wrong. Still have to pay your dues. The Ferryman does take a lot more from the CTs, it seems like, than the Ts. Astralis, however, will continue to force buy with that bomb plant.
Yeah, and you can see that they recognize that this could be a potential tipping point, because Endpoint haven't established strong money. If there was the prospect of, you know, comfortable economy here for Endpoint, then maybe we see Astralis bow down. But a whole lot of Galils, they may just go for a pop flash. Nade is solid. A lot of tag damage, but they're trying to pop through.
And Debris is the one leading the charge. Finds Mighty Max immediately. Secondary flash won't catch out the player behind the pillar. It's Thomas and Merbit to respond. Still even, but Surreal comes over. Nade could be chucked out, but doesn't want to right now. Maintains position, but the spray can't be the same. Even so, Astralis are low. Lucky has to be the one to lead the charge, but that grenade's going to find Zipnix. No, rather Lucky was the one on the bomb site. My mistake, but Crucial's down. He's out.
Might soon recognize where he's coming from as well. Mearbit catching them as they rotate round. Zipnix out in the open, but so much damage onto Mearbit, and he's fumbling nades. Thought Lucky wouldn't peek and wouldn't swing him in that situation, but he comes up big with the clutch. Astralis do get their 1v1 to go their way, and that investment, that force buy where they go into as many Galils as they do, the fact that they're able to collapse on that site so quickly and trade evenly, that's a massive positive for them. See how difficult it was for Endpoint to get back into the action, come in for that retake. And now the AWP is in Lucky's hands. Oh, this is completely shifted. If Astralis did bow down and go for the more conservative approach, this wouldn't have been an opportunity for them, but Endpoint force buying in, scouts are out, the Deegs as well. And while they have certainly done some damage already with this particular investment, you can see Astralis adding this extra air of caution about it.
Endpoint Really hoping the other 1v1s as they come through. They know that a lot of this early round stalemate is going to collapse together. At one point or the other, either team is just going to be broken down in shambles in their wallet, and Crucial's hoping it'll be a flawless. The Scout gets the second tag as well, already getting dangerous. Surreal. He's the casualty. It's already been found. Zip next to locate him as he was getting aggressive and outside. Thomas and Murbit might go undetected. No one to actually watch out for them. And it's actually going to be Zipnix again caught off. The bomb has been dropped. Second Dink is well found. So much damage dealt to the Astralis side, but no one's here to finish them off. Mighty Max really hoping he can move through with the 5-7 and find a couple, but with Astralis rotating over and Mighty Max going back to the A-bomb side, that could have been him missing his timing. Now he needs to get aggressive, playing from inside water, wants to move in from the side. If he can get a quick shot onto the bomb planter, this could be big, but they're clearing these angles out. Mighty Max can't find anything.
Yeah, that was their only chance to try and win the round. Had to deal with Magic and then find the bomb planter as well, but not to be. Even with them grinding away that clock, Astralis were comfortable enough to rotate back around to that B-bomb site and use that numbers advantage. I mean, that prospect of that flank, the timing that they hit in towards bathrooms was really solid there from Endpoint, but they just couldn't get away with that. And so now just trying to save the Scout on Crucial. Don't know that I fancy his chances. The further he investigates, the further he tries to set up himself up into what could be considered a safe haven. Well, Bubsky is not too far, or rather lucky.
Yeah.
I'm miscounting. Well, I thought Magic or Bubsky was the number 3 on the map. It's instead 3 for Astralis. So tied it in somehow.
See, Michael, that's why you're a professional. I would have just said I'm bad at numbers and let it go. But you know what else is bad at numbers, Michael? All of Endpoint's money. It seems like they're just going to be stuck on that 2K mark. And with loss bonus not being the best in the world, let's not forget they won a lot of rounds in a row. Their loss bonus right now is sitting at 2,400. Won't be too happy going into the second one, as the AWP will still be locked away for a while. So Astralis theoretically have themselves an easier time, as Endpoint will have an unideal buy for the next 3 rounds. Grenade to short, though, it's big. And Bubsky just hoping to climb through, but can't find out and hunt down the USB. Magix takes his time to come in from the side, but a lot of damage being dealt to him through those walls. Flash is good, but Bubsky and Zipnix clean it all up. They're completely unaffected, Michael. They're not afraid.
I mean, there was definitely a little bit of fear. So many USPs swinging as you're being full blinded. Things could have gotten a whole lot more dicey, but even in spite of all that tag damage from the USPs, doesn't end up resulting in any casualties. And hey, if Crucial saved once, he can save again. These are quite peculiar rounds. Because Crucial is one of those men we were talking about earlier where I thought he was going to be this consistent factor. So far, hasn't had many opportunities to really flex that stuff. He's got some solid tags in earlier, but hasn't actually found himself into any kills just yet. And you can see Astralis are just looking to preserve their cash. Not exactly the most to track down. Maybe even forgotten that he kept over that Scout. But, I mean, now that they've got the prospect of this full buy, the fact that Crucial stays on it will be a bit of a hindrance.
I don't mind it, though, Michael. I actually think it might be better for them moving forward because, look, realistically, you're probably going to end up saving in this round anyway, unless a stack works out for you. A stack's probably the best way you could go for it. Putting Crucial on a Scout and letting him solo out a bomb site isn't the worst of ideas. If he can get some tag damage in, if he can get some information in, that's great. That's fantastic. You can rotate out and stack over on the rotate a little bit faster, but yeah.
Oh, Surreal mollied. Wasn't going to quite spread into the corner, but worried about the escape path. Through that door being blown open and then not having presence on short. Nade does follow up, so some tags done. Bubsky is well brought quite low. Oh, Spam is right on top. So with that extra tag damage, Thomas is able to finish off the job. If he had slightly stepped back while throwing that nade, that would have been an absolute sitter. But Bubsky will get away with the HP that he has. And Endpoint have found themselves into a fairly clean man advantage. Now making some presence over towards long. Astralis slowly working up this angle. There is Surreal round the corner over at long. Things could get a little interesting. They have a long-distance player trying to spot for it, but Magus just immediately plucks him out. Timing is solid for that. Crucial's AWP does nothing, and Lucky strikes first. This A-bomb site completely vulnerable. You could see Thomas trying to vie his way into this site, but it's too late. Astralis have control, and this might just be a call to save.
It always had to be, you know. Crucial was also just setting up for that AWP buy in the next round, so it makes sense in that regard. Going into it with the scout was never going to be working out too well for you, but despite the fact that you haven't had too much of a chance with only one round on the op, Crucial is now 0-5. This is simply something you can't get away with when there's been so many incredibly close rounds in the beginning. Endpoint, if they're going to start stepping up, it has to be through him, Michael. You were putting a lot of faith into him as well, and for good reason. Crucial is generally the guy you look to for being surprisingly good at every single level. I feel like that's the way Maui Snake also described him on a recent podcast, which if I can remember off the top of my head, I don't want to be misquoting him, but I feel like that's always the case for Crucial. Either he's just dominating tier 2 or surprisingly good in tier 1. Right now, I don't know if that characteristic could be applied.
And it's one of the things I actually think makes maps like Inferno quite good, is that even when Crucial has an off day, it feels like he's so good at navigating around the map, where I think even in their inaugural ESL Pro League run, I say run, but they didn't really get off to a running start. They were able to kind of leverage that fact, where even if he was missing those shots, because he could reposition so well, he could often recover in time. But right now he's not getting those secondary solutions, no secondary chances. So once he misses those opening lines, it's kind of a done deal. They're getting very low impact out of that AWP, which is a heavy investment.
Heavy tag early on Debris is going to at least be something going for them. Crucial just watching out for the connector return back over into... Oh, actually, that connector return might not be coming in. Double Nate doesn't catch anyone from the Astralis side, just trying to find any damage they can before they go for a sight pop.
Yeah, we're really hoping to find that player that could be nestled into the barrels there for Endpoint. Went for the triple nade, but didn't find anything from it.
Yeah.
So maybe some information gathered here for Astralis about what the setup was, but there's been some time between those nades sailing out and the moves in from Astralis. They're still composed, set up for this B-side play, flash in, and Bubsky's gonna get full blind, but Max doesn't commit to the fight. Maybe not trusting that flash would do enough.
I mean, most likely just expecting Dupree to be in a slightly more connector savvy position where he could have peeked out from there and taken him down on the trade regardless, and that's just not worth it for them over there. But Bubsky and Zipnik's find too early in. Now the CTs need to start aggressing back if they want to return the numbers disadvantage, but Surreal just goes down, and again they have completely circumnavigated Crucial. There's no way he can actually get anything done over here.
How good has Zipnik's been on these entries as well? He currently sits 13-4.
Yeah, those are like, hey, I'm the second entry in, maybe third entry / Lurko's getting some great rounds kind of number. It's not the, oh, okay, I'm just going to entry in. Speaking of it, Crucial has entered onto the scoreboard. Like, he's just frustrated, Michael. He just can't find anyone to play with. Like, I came out to play on LAN. You guys told me I could play on LAN, but no one wants to play with me.
Yeah, and the fact that they are on LAN, you know, you could see Magisk a little slow to recover the AWP, you know, getting all those fist bumps in. So yeah, good round, boys. Let's keep it up. And right now, they are formulating these solutions. I think time has been a bit of an issue on this T side a couple of times, but in more recent rounds, Endpoint are just losing out in so many of these initial fights. See if that plagues them further. At the moment, the CT side has been not all too successful. You know, nobody's standing out ahead of the pack. They don't have these X factors that have really come online.
It's not just that necessarily. It's also a little bit of the just players who we expect to perform are not showing up the same way. Even Mighty Max, very often, although he wouldn't be like a fragging IGL by any stretch of the imagination, very often you would see him maybe commit to peaks like that.
Yeah, you'd
He
have a
would
max
be
round.
fine with getting aggressive. Yeah, it's one of those things that literally coined in the UK for some reason.
Yeah, sometimes Max gets put in like a 1v4 and somehow he wins it. So you sometimes talk about Nip Magic. That's the UK equivalent, but only Mighty Max.
Oh, surreal. This smoke's going to be dissipating very soon. He knows it, and as he starts to back off, doesn't really have to contend with the flames. Those are inside the toilets. Dupree watching out for a peek to come in. Zipnix would like to find a quick entry because there's 30 seconds left and they need to commit soon. It's been a harder time getting past these 4 spies. There's been some difficult situations, but Surreal and Crucial won't be able to find anything at all. Magisk as well just comes in from the side, slaps Thomas, tells him, you don't belong to this bomb site, get out of here. And now Murbit, oh, that nade could actually get the kill.
Yeah,
oh.
just a little late to cancel the bomb though.
I told you Murbit knows all the nades, Michael.
Yeah, it could have been a situation where, because that time was kind of low, if he had gone there a second earlier, could have thrown Astralis in for a bit of chaos. But yeah, this is a done deal. That triple entry, talked a little bit about it in that first game we had in Group A. Same can be said. If you get away with 2, you know, that can feel like already a pretty good job well done. But 3 feels like you just have to tap out as a CT side, and not getting anything really after the fact. After that initial pressure and the exchanges in towards the bathrooms, the damage does not come out from Endpoint. Astralis looking really solid here on this T side, just constantly reacting and not... I've been a little bit critical of the fact that they're going so late into the round, but they're making sure that they're not making the wrong step in the late round as a result of that.
Especially when you start to wonder, hey, what happens if those entries just don't go your way? It's a legitimate question that you have to start asking, and they haven't had to face that yet. They haven't had to have that experience just quite yet. So Astralis, maybe later on, if Endpoint can start to hit their stride, otherwise against other opponents, they're probably going to have to change a couple of different things into it. Entries simply cannot be relied upon as you go on, especially in best of ones, where if one player is just, popping off on the other side, things can go very wrong. Now, though, looks like they might just be going for a very fast play. Straight out towards B they go. There's a molly, but it's extinguished quickly, and they're already out. Flashes won't catch anyone. Mighty Max can't get the damage. It's Murbit to get the kill. Max comes in from the side, but Magisk and Dupree just straight trade. Thomas forced out, but he gets the kill despite a second flash. And came in right in time.
Bombs dropped very exposed over towards Monster, so they have to continue pushing forward here on the side of Astralis if they want to recover that. You can see Thomas still moving in for a bit more control. Still some nades available here from that T side. Full belt on Lucky can be deployed to make things a bit more hot here for Thomas. But moving in, shooting, even as Dupree's round the corner, it's now Lucky. 1v3 in that smoke only provides him a little bit of safety. Thomas just spams right through it.
All right, Thomas, that's a way to do it. The fact that he's able to get that kill onto Dupree, I believe it was, might have been, I think it was Dupree, while he's blind is also just fantastic. Pre-firing into the angle where he knows is going to be peeked in from. Even the play from Astralis was great. Dupree chucks out that flashbang. He's expecting Thomas to turn around from it, and the second flash is timed to pop right as he'd be looking back in for it. That was a real pop flash risk that they bore, but Thomas ends up getting the frag regardless. 2 of his kills without being able to see them.
Yeah, the blinded kill on Magisk you're talking about does make things a lot more difficult for Astralis to scale up. It's what put that bomb into such a weird spot. Now look at the aggression in from Endpoint. They are shifting things up slightly, trying to look for this deep lining connector, but Astralis have 2 players here. They're not really peeking right into it. They know that that door has been blown open, and so Crucial, while he wanted that aggressive line, has been kind of circumnavigated. Mirbit, though, has been putting up the numbers. You come in with the stand-in talk a lot for teams. At the moment, Mirbit is standing his ground. As a result of him coming in as well, I think Surreal has kind of shifted up some of his spots as a result of this. But at the moment, Mirbit is doing, I think, what is asked of him in the positions he's been put in.
I also do think that these are the perfect positions for him regardless. spots that he's played in the past as well. And honestly, if I had to come down to it between Merbit and Surreal, which one of them is more likely to perform in different spots? I think Surreal's generally been all over the shop, you know, in how long he's played and whatnot as well. So I did imagine him to be pretty flexible
Yeah.
as well. Wouldn't mind seeing that at all come through. Not to mention with how many iterations of the Endpoint roster have come in.
Yeah, you
these
kind of
past few
constantly
months.
have to reshuffle.
Yeah, Zipnix though wanted to shuffle out Thomas. Thomas though stands his ground. It's the A bomb side that is the casualty, the victim in exchange. Surreal has pushed through the toilets and has control over A long. Will be peeking forward. Magis to peek into him, but Magis is down. And the CTs can converge onto the site, but a lot of Molotovs will bar them entry for now.
One smoke, one flash, and a whole lot of kits here for Endpoint. Surreal just stands his ground over at long, and Lucky is sandwiched between the remaining Endpoint players. Can't find the kill fast enough, and it's Surreal that anchors in with a retake angle that Astralis may not have anticipated to have to deal with so heavily. You know, just throwing one body at a time at the problem. And Surreal comes up big with the kills he needs to give Endpoint a round. A path to recovery starting to rear its head here for Endpoint. You know, while the money for Astralis was looking super, super good for quite some time on this T side, it's starting to be ground at. The problem for Endpoint is that by the time that they do potentially bring them down to a potential money-breaking situation, Astralis will likely have max loss bonus. So, certainly a chance.
Yeah, big one.
Flashed it a lot to push Crucial off the angle, and Lucky, the flick down does not connect. Boost into short is going to be a little delayed, but after the flash, just not sticking to it. See a few of those nerves maybe coming to action as well.
How did that nade not do more damage?
I think it might have sailed too far down, like landed on the low ground.
I'm not quite sure. It looked like it landed underneath the railing, which is why it didn't do that much damage, which is just absurd. Even so, the Astralis have still yet to really commit to either side so far, even if they are angling towards the B bomb side. This is where Crucial and his delayed rotations, very often he is the one to stay over here on A. Surreal, of course, in the previous round. But we'll have to wait to see when he actually comes into play, because Astralis is getting ready for a full execute and a push in through Monster. There's no incendiaries to stop them. They do have some grenades, so not like they don't have that, and the smoke is going to be perfectly timed. They're going to have to push through it. The flashes might not be enough for them to get it done. Max and Merbit got this out in the Deagle round as well, but now as they start to spray in, Max is coming with two, looking for more through the smoke, doesn't need to engage, and he knows it. The short push is what he's worried about, and with a bomb drop, he just had to spam, but Zipnix traces him out. They're onto the bomb site, 15 seconds. They need the first, and it's Thomas who'll be the casualty, but no, rather turns around. Magis finally brings him down, and Crucial closes it out. Astralis delayed to the very end, and that extra smoke was just their undoing.
Yeah, the fact that Max is able to get those two kills, you could see how difficult it was for Astralis to scale into it, because they knew that running through that smoke would only lead to a Max advantage. And it is just kind of run, spray, and kind of hope you do enough damage to flush Max out of his position, which was eventually found. They get the entries, they find a man advantage for only a second, but once again, it's Thomas that runs into the scene and keeps things in control there for Endpoint. Even if things do go traded, it gives enough room for the rest of the squad to move into B. Man, this, again, these 30-second executes here from Astralis, this is one of those moments where it does come back to bite them because of that refresh smoke.
And finally, you know, it's starting to come into it, but I have to give it up for Thomas, Michael. He looked like a dead man there. The fact that he's able to find the first kill while being that low HP is just what puts that last nail in the Astralis coffin for the particular round. Now, quick boost up for Lucky, hoping to find it out, and Thomas is gone. Was even checking for that boost, but generally not necessarily the advisable course of action.
Yeah, he's been doing that a few times as well, just to like peek into short water and connector. So
yeah. Oh, Mighty Max. Big kill to find on a Bubsky over here. Wanted to get aggressive a little bit early on. Knows that Bubsky has been trying to play around the short water, and he catches him out without needing to use any utility. This is big from Surreal, though.
Yeah, this is massive.
Oh, Lucky's a goner. Lucky's a goner.
Oh, he's
Lucky's
going
been
for the
stabbed
knife
in the
as well.
back. Let's go, Surreal. Getting in their heads. And Crucial finds another one. Astralis are not happy about how this is going. Dupree comes in from the side. The IGL is gone, but Murbit's still around the corner, and he might not be expected. Pushes in through the smoke, wants to go for another flank, but it might not be a good idea. Instead, just get some cover and wants to reface in. When that smoke clears out, they will recheck. But Murbit, he's just waiting for Crucial to be in position. No way for them to stop it. Murbit comes in with another. Crucial still can't find Zipnix, though. Another 1v2. The main man so far on the scoreboard, main man in clutches, and now question is, can Astralis find their guaranteed 8th off the back of Zipnix? He's creeping forward, bomb yet to be recovered. Crucial might just find the timing. Zipnix adjusts. Crucial misses his shot. That's going to be big. And now bomb's being planted. It's in the open. Crucial won't be expecting it to be in this position. Oh my god, Zipnix, you've got to be joking.
Oh, it's a ballsy plant, but you're right. They have no idea where he's gone off to. They think he's still in the site somewhere.
Zipnix could just, he's led them on a wild goose chase. They've got no idea what's going on over here. So Real and Crucial have been bamboozled. They won't be checking this under any circumstance, and Zipnix knows he has to play for the flying off as it's jumping down. He's managed to find it from underneath the girder. It's Surreal now, inside the smoke. Zipnix is spraying! Zipnix destroys him! That is classic Zipnix!
That's the Zipnix we know and love. This guy clutches like no other. And you can see exactly what he gets away with.
Oh my god, that plant, Michael!
Yeah, you're talking about trying to get into the heads of Astralis. That will be one that weighs on your mind here if you're Endpoint. You had this big advantage. You get yourself into this 4-on-2. And then Zipnix just comes in with the dagger.
Dude, that bomb plant just sealed the deal. It just ended things. The second he gets that bomb plant and is able to tease his way into graffiti, you know it's gone. Even the first kill on a Crucial, just ducking underneath that girder, taking him down, makes it work. I mean, he's entering as well.
He's just been having a hell of a game, hasn't he?
Yeah.
If he's not starting the round, he's finishing the job, and Endpoint, I mean, their money is thin.
More often than not, he's doing both. He's got the kill. Now he leans back to throw a support flash for his teammate.
It's like, look at all this space I'm giving you guys. Go on.
He's got 20 kills.
Connected.
Wow. That is nuts. Magic now wakes up with Thomas. Thomas peeking into him. Magic's got a little bit on and off with the spray, but at least he's able to turn it on in the end, and that's what matters. Mighty Max's position might have been able to throw them for a wrench, but he's relying on Thomas to be able to hold the line, but he can't get a single frag. Magic's just entries on to the bomb site.
Sorry, a little late to the scene. Smoke down as well, so Crucial can do nothing. Max finally shows his hand off of short, and while this applies some pressure, while this keeps things interesting here for Astralis, they know where these last two CTs are, and it's all about just trying to find a secure plant. They've still not dialed this in. Oh!
Oh. Look from Endpoint coming through against some of these players on the entry. It's just Magix runs in after Zipnix has already got one, finds himself two. Thomas didn't look like he was in position to be able to comfortably contest. He started his spray before adjusting it onto the player, so you know he's not entirely ready for it the same way with the crosshair. And with the M4A1, I feel like horizontal spray transfers are always one of the big weaknesses.
And I guess we didn't really talk about it that much, but I mean, there's no reason to put any doubt on the Astralis members being LAN ready. You know, I mean, some of the fall off of Zipnix, you know, where he started to put up some of the lower numbers, did come as a kind of toe in toe with the online era.
I mean, he also had that interview recently where he literally said, "Wait till LANs and crowds come back, then you see what I'm gonna do to you." I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but not too much, trust me.
Now the minister is in session. Take notes. Well, dualies, Novas,
Okay.
it's a mishmash buy in extreme fashion here for Endpoint.
Thomas is going down an airstrike.
I saw a buy like this not too long ago in the Premiership, and
Yes.
I was very critical of
Wasn't
Endpoint.
that also against Astralis?
No, definitely was not. And I said I look forward to seeing that particular buy in their officials, but I take it all back. I hate seeing this. I don't envy their position at all. When life gives you lemons,
You
throw
buy
the
a
lemons
Nova.
away.
Sell them and buy a Nova? I feel like you got the saying wrong, Michael.
Well, these are some expensive lemons.
Well, you know, inflation, I guess. I don't know, man. Thomas, of course, got himself the very colorful dualies. Now $300. Thank you very much.
But look at all this attention that Endpoint have shown towards B, and there's nobody A. You can see Surreal is now running back to play in as that anchor. Astralis just slow working, long, keeping things contained over at short, over at B as well. So they can't really get these easy attack avenues. Lucky spots the player jump spotting in at that A site, but I don't know if that they're going to get supported. Brutal with the Nova, though, comes out of the connector. Zipnix might be having a hell of a game, but wasn't anticipating that one. But there's 2 kills in response from Astralis. The collapse on A is going to be rapid, and they're showing presence everywhere around the map. Thomas, Dooley's up close. Oh no! Who gets the kill he needs to?
Oh my god, he's got 2!
They can win this round.
Oh my god!
You cannot be winning like that. It's the Doolies, and of course, Endpoint salvage a 6th round, but we're going to go to a break. A second half still to play.
Somehow they find the 6. I say somehow, Michael, because it was off the back of a 3K with the dualies. And also an overkill. We can't go around neglecting
throw that one in there as well.
So why not? And then, you know, everyone looked at the dualies change and said, oh, who cares? The dualies never get more than 1 kill anyway. Michael, they just got a 3K versus the greatest team of all time. And a half buy against a 4 buy to give them 6.
Well, we touched upon some of the problems for Astralis' T side and the fact that they kept running down that clock so low, and I guess that's a good example of exactly that happening. I don't know how they get themselves into 6 rounds, but they are certainly going to need it. Now moving into T side, again with that stand-in being a factor for this. Are they going to run off that same sort of 4-core system? It seems like that could be the case. At the moment, they're leaving Surreal to lurk over towards B, while the rest of the team just run about the A bomb site over towards long. Only one belter.
Absolute monster that he was, Michael. Early on, wants to take the contest right now as well. Can't blame him. Not a bit. Surreal, on the other hand, probably wants to start backing off, having taken a couple of pot shots in.
And only 1 set of nades here for Astralis. No kit either for a post plant. So keeping them away from these sites is going to be a huge value to them. Ooh, there's Zipnix though. Surreal just investigating on that lurk, and B is off limits.
Of course, A might also be off limits, Michael. You just haven't discovered it yet. There's a guard dog waiting around, even if there isn't a trespassing fence on it. Thomas, no, why not? Murbit's been sacrificed. Get out of here, stand-in. We can't win with you. Takes unlucky in trade, of course, and Thomas now leads the charge forward. They're pushing out the smoke as Astralis, Magics, and Bubsky just come in. Shut it all down. Endpoint can't even get the bomb down, Michael. And I love that from Astralis, the fact that they're pushing out from the smokes before Endpoint can try and plant. Just make sure that there won't be enough money on the T side to be able to warrant a proper full force buy in the next as well. That's nice to see. But speaking of nice to see, check it out. Thomas, once again, getting his moment of glory. 1, 2, and there's a 3rd. Oh, it's such a stylish ending as well.
It's mad. It is a mad way to win it. We're going to have to leave that one alone, though. Second half fully in effect. Astralis now up to double digits as a result of that pistol round win. And you can see these M4A1Ss gracing the server.
Yes, please.
Now, saving grace could be the Deeg. Certainly helped them in the first half. Of course, Endpoint overturned after losing the pistol. And, I mean, we haven't seen a pistol round conversion after the fact from any of the games today so far.
True. Could this be the promised land, Michael?
Or do we buck the trend?
Always the big question. Double up over here from Astralis. This could be very big. I like this smoke. That's actually a very nice smoke to be able to prevent the double crossfire onto Monster.
Yeah, quite
Take that one
one.
home for your matchmaking games or ESGA.
Similar effect to some of the Dust 2 smokes you often see.
Indeed. Archer's going to be avoided. Zipnix and Magus are just taking a very aggressive stance, but Zipnix turns around. Perfect timing from him. Got another that he has to deal with, and it's too much to ask for. Thomas and Merbit take him apart, and Lucky and company pushing up through short have stopped the bomb from being planted yet again. Merbit needs to come alive with these deagle kills, but there's no reason for Astralis to actually give him the opportunities. They've even trailed back. Bubsky peeks out. Sorry, Merbit. Ain't no space for you on the server, and we see our first capitalized pistol of the day.
Yeah, and they get their hands on all 3 of those A1Ss as well. The heaviest investment coming into that round for Astralis. And they had an SMG and a scout mixed in, but who needs them? Once again, a position where Endpoint haven't been able to get that bomb down, so no extra money goes their way. See, again, these pistols being brought forward. Looking forward to round number 4 for themselves. And Lucky could farm up a whole load of cash. He wants to try and fund the AWP if possible.
Oh, yeah. The MP9 really is the CS equivalent of a GoFundMe. Magic, so, will take down Merbin. Stops any donations coming through just quite yet. Dupree? Oh. All right. Tagged up, wants to back in. Lucky comes out, and that's the money found, Michael. 3 kills, that's gonna do it just about right.
Thank you very much, partner. Teed up for all of those kills as well, and while 3 is certainly a whole lot of money going into his back pocket, could have found 4 if not for Zipnix taking all the glory, taking all the fun away from it. Yeah. And now I can upgrade rather safely into this AWP off of another really solid win for them. And I imagine that will be the case.
Michael, I do feel like my analogy can be taken a little bit further as well, because like the MP9 being a GoFundMe in Counter-Strike makes perfect sense to me, actually. In a GoFundMe, generally taken up when you're in a bad financial situation and there's nothing you can do to get out of the economic problems that you're currently facing, and you bring out something which you're hoping will work, but can something find you absolutely nothing. Yeah, it's the MP9's a GoFundMe of Counter-Strike.
Wow. That's all you have. Nothing to contribute to that.
Merbit couldn't quite find the initial tap. Oh, also misses out just the smidgen of timing that could have given it to him, but as they start to trail forward, that is the MP9 inside the toilet. Dupree hoping to top out, go beyond that 100%. Dupree, though, he's got a second one right around the corner. He's doubled up. Max is gone. That's the rifle sticking out, and Dupree's found another. No way you can get past this dynamic duo. Absolutely not. And now,
welcome to the MP9 meat grinder.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, they were holding the shadow peaks as well. You know, they had a small gap around the smoke just so if a shadow emerged, that's where they would find it. But even creeping through the smokes, Endpoint get punished.
Bubsky's even found Merbit. Seems like Zipnix is a very much worthy sacrifice for this round. Thomas even caught with a gun out. Lucky's just begging to die at this point, saying, please let me have an AWP. Whatever, I'll just take crucials.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to buy his own. He's farmed up so much cash on the MP9.
Like 5 kills on the MP9. And then he steals it all.
Oh my god, his money is looking sound. He's minted.
Absolutely fantastic.
All the CT side going swimmingly so far for Astralis. All the players you want farming up the cash have been able to accomplish that goal. And another position where Endpoint don't exactly have a full buy. Missing out on head armor on a number of these players. They don't have to deal with these MP9s any longer, but now they have to deal with a fully established CT side economy, especially with Astralis looking as clean as they do.
This angle from Zipnix is so annoying. He's found himself one Magis, doubles up with the grenade as well. There was enough damage dealt to guarantee that. And now Magis waits around the corner. Bubsky We'll find another, sure, but it's just Max and Murbit hoping to get onto the bomb site, struggling, searching, begging, but there will be no bomb plants. Endpoint have so far yet to get a single, not one bomb plant on their team side. It's their 5th round. And Max, I'm pretty sure, won't be able to change that trend.
Yeah, things just looking so good here for Astralis. And that had to be one of the concerns coming in. You know, they gave up some of their spots on CT to accommodate for the implementation of Mirbit, you know, being this last-minute stand and literally flying out today for them. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes when you have stand-ins coming to events, you are practicing with them ahead of time. You anticipate that this is going to happen. But this is about as left field as it gets. So it is a hard adaptation period. And Astralis just look so well rehearsed, especially on this CT side, that now you're starting to see this really big discrepancy open up where, you know, some of these T side, the spacing does feel a little bit off. They're maybe having to communicate a lot more to get things done. That's even if they can find themselves in positions that make sense or they can actually capitalize off of, because Astralis have been mixing things up continuously. So this is going to be hard to read. Look at the stack towards top connector in the bathrooms. I don't think Endpoint will anticipate this.
Oh, Mighty Max trying to move in. Won't be expecting the second one. Bubsky, good for one, but Crucial trades a bit too quickly for them to recover. Astralis has lost the match, but Lucky. Close range comes out big. Now Tecton in hand, but he's big too far forward. Thomas to catch him out. He's been a savior for Endpoint many times over, not just when he's got 2 guns in his hands. He'd even do it with 1.
Yeah, hard position to predict here on the side of Xipnix, but they're going over towards A instead. Taking both longs on either site. Utility sails over towards A. Magis will make the call.
He hears them all. Sonic straight through. Thomas could be caught out. Magis can't make it too. A headshot, but it's not enough. Now Xipnix caught out. Crucial expected him. Says not twice in a row at least. You're going to take the 1v2 away from us. Crucial's been another player who's been very much not on the server. If we have to put it bluntly, he was one of the people we were hoping would step up. You know, I actually had more questions about Thomas than I did about Crucial. Yeah. Thomas has answered all of them. He's aced the exam. He's that kid who never studies all throughout, but in the end, he's managed to get himself all the revision material he needed.
I feel like that's a little disingenuous. Probably studies as much as the rest of them. But,
I mean, more about like an exam setting. Like, you may not expect him to be the best, but then he comes in just like Lucky has.
Oh man, he's had a hot hand these past couple rounds.
Yeah. Good for him to start heating up over here as well.
Yeah, these quick flicks, these quick shots. Talking about Crucial finally having an impact round. Immediately afterwards, shut down. So, not gonna have quick Crucial trades. Holly's starting to hit the mark, but Endpoint aren't exactly scaling with it.
They've got enough time to actually start to move back and see if they can catch off stragglers from the side of Astralis. Debris in particular comes to mind if you look at the minimap. But that re-smoke's a little bit too late. Xipnix is going to peek out. The flash didn't catch them. The second one, however, did. Thomas fully blind and Xipnix, he is the Flying Dutchman. This comes through. All you hear is pirate calls and you're dead.
I don't think that they're going to be within earshot of Dupree, so he may not realize that they're taking bathrooms control. Yeah, he's flanking B, guys. I'm gonna clear out this entire site.
Guys, I'm gonna catch them. They're outside monster right now. I'm telling you. But Lucky, he doesn't believe him.
Yeah. So long as Endpoint don't execute right now, then things are gonna go well for Astralis. Because look at the stack, it's coming.
Yeah, Bobsky's managed to make his way over. Lucky's found the purse again. Quick fix to be located. Magis peeks out, uses a space given by Lucky, and Astralis are up to match point. Endpoint, on the other hand, money very much gone.
Yeah, this just looks a little too easy here from Astralis. Even if they're receiving pressure in one area of the map, they, again, are not afraid to push some of these other extremities. We've seen it now with pushes over towards the long monster tunnel. Now, Dupree investigating for as long as he does in towards playground. If Endpoint don't have a player there to meet him and actually beat him on that initial duel, then they're not going to be deterred, especially when they've got this round buffer.
Lucky taking this aggressive angle once again. Flash is going to be there to force him off, but Dupree's not expected. He's got 1, could be 2. Headshots good, but Lucky There to finish off. Surreal is gone. Still 3v3 and Endpoint hoping to exploit early, but a smoke has already met their way and stopped their path. Always as well, just moving forward. Merbit is forced off the angle. Zipnix, oh, so close. He should be able to get this, but Thomas is expecting it. Free-firing in, but he's sloppy on the spray. Merbit has to trade. Back to a 1v2. Lucky now called to question. He's had a hot hand these past few, but those have been openings more often than not. Getting back onto a bomb site, an entirely different question. But he's found the kill. Max is down and he can't plant the bomb.
Oh, does Merbit read into this? Lucky now repositioning to the low ground. Merbit's still so concerned about Heaven. Doesn't have a smoke. No utility to make things easier for him either. And just knows that Lucky is waiting for that tick of the bomb.
And Lucky's made the perfect play. So much space given out. He can catch him as he's going to be
moving back. He didn't commit to the plant.
Now Merbit, he's going to be located 100%. Lucky has to be careful of scoping at the right time. The quick scope has got it. Lucky is going to give it to them. Astralis finds 16 and Endpoint. They might have had a couple of rounds where they put on a show.